When Nope first got announced, I was so hyped for it because I just loved Get Out and Us, and this movie definitely lived up to my expectations and honestly probably surpassed them. I think it's a very interesting take on aliens, which used to be an overused trope a while ago in movies and media, and I mean, like really a while ago. But it really hasn't been seen all that much recently, at least not in the way that this movie does it, which is like, typical like Roswell, gray aliens, big eyes. And, this manages to kind of stand out because of the lack of similar movies. I'm not going to sit here and act like aliens are not a common thing, but not in this sense, I would say. Like flying saucer UFO type aliens, that's not really the type of aliens that you see in modern media anymore. When I saw the original trailer, I was really interested right off the bat because I figured it'd be about aliens, just because of the setting and the story and some of the shots, but it was just mysterious enough that I wasn't 100% sure what it was going to be about, so it really hooked me like right away. Then that second trailer dropped and it just kind of outright revealed them, and I was a little disappointed because I wanted it to stay ambiguous, I wanted it to be kind of mysterious, like sure, I know what's going on, but I don't exactly know what's going on. But then you watch the actual movie and you realize, okay, well, this isn't even really about the aliens, so I never really knew what was going on in the first place. And the final act of the movie makes that so clear, and I'll go into that a little later, but it just recontextualizes the whole thing. But anyways, all throughout the movie, the aliens are present, like basically always, and it's not a secret, they talk about it. And you start to realize that this movie isn't really a typical horror movie where the main characters try to escape from the killers or stuff like that. Not at all. It's the main theme of the movie is, weirdly enough, the obsession with clout, and more specifically being the first to get something, being the first on the scene, the first to get the scoop, the first to whatever. You just want to be the one to like break the story or to, get the clout for something. That's basically the main theme of the entire story. And in the second trailer, they show Daniel Kaluuya's and Keke Palmer's characters, OJ and Emerald, saying that they want to take a picture of the alien, or at least buying equipment to catch the alien on film. And that's basically what this movie is about once they figure out that there is an alien, which is fairly early on, I'd say within the first hour, and this is like a 2.5 hours movie, so it's pretty early on. This obsession with clout is also displayed through other characters in the story, especially Steven Yeun's character, which I think was called Jupiter, although that's probably not his name, that's probably just like a stage name, but I don't remember the character's name, so I'll just go by his stage name. Who's probably the most obsessed with clout, or at least with control, without going into too much spoilers, but he's at the center of like one of the most important parts of the movie that really encompasses one of the main themes of the movie, but I can't really discuss it without spoiling it because it's kind of a major plot point, and if I kind of explain it, it's like it doesn't ruin his character, I'd say, but it does kind of ruin one of the big moments of the movie. And I think it's honestly hard to discuss the movie's main theme other than that one, which is the clout chasing, without spoiling anything, because everything that was shown in the trailers, although it seemed like a lot at the time, and trust me, it seemed like a lot to me at the time, turned out to be just like the most superficial stuff the movie has to offer. Like sure, on the surface it's a scary movie or a thriller, whatever you want to call it, and yes, there are a lot of scary scenes and very tense moments, and I think it's mostly tense. There are a few scary scenes here or there, like actually scary, to me at least. Maybe 1 or 2 jump scares, really not enough to like ruin the experience, but it's mostly tense. You're mostly just like holding out for something to happen, or like you're looking at something and it's not moving and you're just like you're just tense waiting for something to happen. And I love that kind of horror because I feel like it's a lot more effective than just like jump scare, loud music. That doesn't really do it for me. This kind of horror, this kind of thriller, I guess, because I don't want to categorize this as a horror movie. I don't think it's a horror movie, but it is a very tense movie. And I think that's what I love about Peele's movies, is that obviously there is the horror, scary, thriller aspect of it, but it's always more than that. And I feel like Nope is probably the one with the most obvious focus on its main theme. Like they really don't try to hide it at all. And I guess it's kind of hard to hide the theme of clout chasing in a movie since the activity itself is so obvious when you do it. So I guess it makes sense. Other than the story elements though, this movie does excel in like so many areas, especially the sound design. And I said that the aliens are always present, and it's true, but you rarely see them for the majority of the movie. You see them, you know, as the movie goes on, you see them more and more, but there are a lot of parts where you don't see anything, you just hear it. So to showcase that they're there, they made sure that we could hear them. And there's a lot of moments throughout when it's like really quiet, apart from certain noises that let you know that shit is happening. You don't see it, but shit is happening. There's also a lot of great shots, and that's due in part to the location where the story takes place, like literally in the middle of a mountainous region with open fields and bright blue skies for the most part, and also due to the sense of scale that's conveyed in the movie whenever the aliens appear, specifically the flying saucer. And it makes the main characters look really insignificant in comparison, and it's just impressive. Like, the sense of scale is impressive at parts, but some of the best shots are probably at night, honestly, when the aliens come out to start probing, and you can't really see all that clearly. It's like you'll get the best shots of the movie during a stormy night right as thunder flashes, and honestly, that might, you know, to some people that might suck. To me, I think that's like the coolest thing ever. You just get something revealed in a flash of light, and you gotta process that like 1 second of information you've just seen, and it's great. It's a great way of showcasing how threatening the enemy is, I guess I could say, and it also makes for just a great shot. I mentioned the final act before too, but I didn't really go too much into it. The final 45 to like 30 minutes, I'd say probably 45 minutes of the movie really recontextualize basically the entire thing, and the glimpses of weird behavior by OJ and Emerald that are present throughout the movie start making a lot more sense once you realize that they only really have one goal in mind, independently of what could happen to them. And I thought it made it for a very interesting finale that really made the main theme of the movie stand out. Like, if there was any confusion, it should really be cleared out by the very end. Overall, I think I'd give it a 9. I think this movie was excellent, and I feel comfortable saying it's Peele's probably second best movie. I still put Get Out above it, but it was still an amazing experience, and definitely the most visually impressive movie he's put out so far.